So back to Volume 1 of The Adventures of Susan MeeLing, Scuba Diver Extraordinaire, written by Reverend Susan MeeLing, Reverend MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle. Had a few names. So on page 128, I had looked at two different schools in the area of Carrollton, Texas, after I had sent an email to the Israeli medical journal asking questions because I had read their work as well as a few others in reference to scuba diving assisting headaches. And I had sent an email to them. I never got an email response back. And I had, asked, about with my injury, if I knew that they couldn't give me medical advice, but if they would think that that would be a worthwhile adventure to go through to attempt to see if it would assist with my headaches and migraines. And after not receiving any contact back, it was one of those, okay, well, I had explained the head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000, the subarachnoid hemorrhage in the frontal lobe of my brain, the coma, the headaches, the migraines, going from college algebra with trigonometry and calculus to second grade math, all that sort of stuff. And so, it was just one of those, all right, well, And I had done that, I'd sent that email, I think it was in November of 2008. And so I did a little bit more research online to see what I could find. And then after the new year would be when I started going to the different, looked at stuff online more so. But then January, towards the end, right, I think it was, it was the beginning of January, I went and went to the two different scuba schools in the Carrollton, Texas area. I wound up going to International Scuba, the one on Marsh Lane, because they offered the National Geographic Open Water Scuba Diver course. And that was in 2009. And so the other reason for that choice of mine was because at that school, they had also offered a 16 scuba certification course that you could, if you could finish all of them in 1 year, you could, earn all 16 scuba certifications. And so I got my clearance level for me to be able to scuba dive because I had recently had surgery. And the doctors were like, yeah, okay. Or the doctor that I had was fine with it. According to the, form to fill out, it had asked if you had a head injury within the past 5 years. At that point, it had been 9 years. So no, I passed that. And so, went and got cleared so that way I could go scuba diving. I knew I would be able to, but the reason why I wanted to go through every possible venue of coursework was to ensure that I would descend safely anywhere I went scuba diving and ascend safely anywhere I went scuba diving. I did not want to have an unsafe descent, which automatically meant an unsafe ascent. And I did not want to have a safe descent and then an unsafe ascent. I wanted a safe descent every time and a safe ascent every time. So I wanted to make sure that I was educated and knew what to do in every circumstance I possibly could think of, be in, anything like that. I did not want to have to go to any sort of thing. I got the insurance that covered everything possible because I was like, I don't want to pay for that out of pocket. I don't know how much it costs. I don't want to know how much it costs. I will pay for the insurance because I don't want, nope, I do not want to know how much it costs to get air vac from whatever island. I don't want to know how much it costs to go into a hyperbaric chamber. I don't want to have to do it anyway. I'd rather have the insurance, not have to worry about using it ever, and, good to go, cleared 100%, no problems. And so, I obviously descended and ascended safely. I did not die, obviously. And so, no problems. So, yeah. So I did that, and it was funny because, so Patty, even though it was a Patty Shop Professional Association of Diving Instructors, the owner of the International Scuba at the time was named Patty, P-A-T-T-I. Thankfully, not P-A-T-T-Y. But anyway, that's what my biological sister went by. Anyway, so, and I actually told Patty that. I was like, is that her though? It's just like an I, and I'm like, awesome. That's cool. So, she had, after I had completed the course, and I chose to go during a colder time, because I was like, okay, I have a lot of questions, and I want to make sure that, I can ask them. And so I figured most scuba divers would go to get their certifications in warmer weather because, more comfort. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to be uncomfortable, but I want to be able to ask questions. So the less people I have to ask questions in front of, more comfortable I'm going to be. And so, and then it was funny because Patty had said, well, the open certification, the actual dive portion will be in Aquarina Springs, so it's warmer water. Yeah, not that much. I mean, it was like 68 degrees, but, going into a 68 degree, water, and then stepping out to where it's cold, well, that's, I didn't think that through. But that is what it is. But yeah, so she and I had talked, and, about the 16th certification thing, and I was like, I'm gonna want to do that. I'm just gonna sign up for it right away. And she was like, well, it's if you can, don't get mad. And I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna finish all the certifications. And she laughed, and she was like, I've had a few people sign up for that. And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. I am going to get each and every one of those certifications. I am going to, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, I am going to earn each one of those certifications. And, while, you might have had people before me who were like, yeah, I'll do that, and might have thrown a temper tantrum, I will not be one of those people, because I'm going to get every single one of those certifications before I will allow myself to go scuba diving in the water. And she was like, will you go scuba diving in the water? I'm like, no, I mean, like, the ocean. Like, it's not that the lakes aren't, like, water. Obviously they are, and hot springs and all that sort of stuff, but I have certain requirements of myself, and if I don't meet, like, a certain requirement, I'm not gonna go do certain things. So I am gonna, I'm going to get all of those certifications before I ever make my first ocean trip. And she was just like, okay, that's what a lot of people say. I'm like, yeah, no, you have I'm not trying to be rude. I'm sure you've met many individual scuba divers. That's why you have a scuba shop. But I guarantee you have not met anybody like me before. And so she just kind of, what? And I'm like, yeah, no. I will be getting each and every one of those certifications, a few extra while I'm at it. But I will be earning each and every one of them. Promise. And she was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, no, I will. And I did. So I did it. I did it all. Not all, but, yeah, I did earn all those certifications and several others, a total of 26 in total. Not before I went to the ocean. I earned 24 before I went into the ocean for scuba diving. And then 23, I apologize. 23 certifications before I went to Cozumel. 2 of the certifications I earned in Cozumel, and then the final certification was the cavern diving certification that I earned. Each and every one of them. But I will be going through that sort of stuff in this 3-book series as I go through the pages. But yeah, CDO, I tried explaining that to her. She's like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, no. I'm gonna do it. I am. Yeah, okay. No, I'm telling you, I'm gonna. So, yeah, I mean, you know, realistically, you know, at that time, I mean, I'm technically still single and I'm technically still a mom. I don't have my children because, you know, they're doing their own thing right now. Hopefully both of them are staying safe, and I miss them and I love them. So I love you, James, and I love you, Lydia. I'm gonna, like, you know, want the best for you guys. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that they didn't ever have to worry. Plus, it was also a way for me to show them how serious I was when it came to their school stuff. So it was like, look, you know, I'm studying. You see that I'm studying. Yes, you can do your homework with me. That's cool. We'll all do our homework together and stuff like that. And, you know, but you see, like, I'm not just saying go do something and then not doing it myself. No. This is safety precautions and stuff like that. And it was really, really, it was funny because at Clear Springs Scuba Park, or Aqua Arena Hot Springs, you know, I get all my gear on. My son and my daughter look up at me and they're like, Mom, you look like an astronaut. I'm like, no, I'm a scuba diver. Opposite way. Opposite way. The astronauts go up, scuba divers go down. That's how that goes. And they were just like, okay, whatever. And it's like, no, there is a difference. There is a massively huge difference. One goes into the galaxy, that's the astronaut. The other one goes into the ocean or water, and that's a scuba diver. Like, there is a big difference. I love you. Like, attention to details. Big difference. Huge difference. I love you. And they're just, yeah, okay. Yeah. But it was in the open water scuba diving class through National Geographic, there was, you know, who the teachers, there were a couple, because surprisingly there were a lot of people that took the open water scuba diving course. Like, I was like, okay. There were like, I think there were like almost 20 people. And I was like, all right, well, fine. Kind of went to be able to ask a question, but okay, sure, yeah, fine. I mean, yeah. And I was the only female that wasn't with someone. Like, there was nobody in the class that was a single female. Every other female was with either their boyfriend or their fiance or their husband, whatever. And nothing wrong with that. It was just, okay, whatever. And then, like, there were only a handful of single males. And I was like, well, you know, I'm not looking at you because, you know, I mean, yeah, you know, you're decent looking or whatever, but, you know, I gotta study. Like, back off. Ironically, one of the males that I wound up dating was in that class, and I was like, yeah, see, don't you do your own homework. But we had to, you know, talk about, you know, like, ourselves before the class started, and I was like, yeah, okay, fine. Hi. I'm an introvert, but I'm an extrovert, but I'm an introvert, but I'm an extrovert, but I'm an introvert, but not. And as long as, like, there's, like, a common ground, can talk for hours. Other than that, you know, yeah, I'm kind of, like, secluded and feel weird doing, like, this, so, you know, that is what it is. And so there were, you know, these scuba instructors that were going in and out of the store behind where the classroom was. And so I was like, yeah, yeah. can we study? Do you want, like, because they were, laughing and talking. It's like, we're in class right now. I mean, I'm not going to say that because, like, some of you are, like, but, I'm rude. Do you mind? This is life stuff, I mean, I didn't say that out loud, but in my head, I was like, do you mind trying to focus and study? I realize at this point there might have been like a little what is it called? It's called phone tag or something. There's an alert. There is an unattached female scuba diver who is in class right now. Alert. By herself, doing it all by herself. She was adamant that she was not dating anybody, and she just by herself. She gonna do this scuba stuff by herself. Alert. Why do I feel like there are a bunch of, what is going on? It was kind of weird, like the middle of class. And so, yeah, and then at Aquarina Scuba Park, or Aquarina Hot Springs, you picked up your tanks before you went out and all this sort of, or no, they brought the tanks, that's right. They brought the tanks, and then, they put them in the wheelbarrows and stuff like that. And, like, everybody got their stuff on and then went down to the platform area, the classroom area. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just take these, wheelbarrows full of scuba tanks, All right, yeah, all right, fine. And so I did, I did both wheelbarrows, And so, before class, and, went, and the one male that I did wind up dating before all sorts of stuff and winding up in Washington State, so the teachers are doing their teaching stuff, and then they're like, okay, go put your BCDs on and all this sort of stuff, check your regulator, check this, check that, da-da-da. It's like, all right, done. All right, shh. Squared away. All right, what's up next? And ironically, the one that I wound up dating later on, I'm like, hey. Because he's taller than me. Excuse me. He turns around and he's like, yes. I'm like, turn around again. So that way I can fix your tank for you. And he was just like, you had me turn around to tell you. Well, yeah, I know better than to start messing with you on your back stuff. And then, like, no. I'm not about to, like, just start messing with your stuff on your back and then, like, not expect something to happen. So that was why I, tapped you on your shoulder, made you turn around, and then told you that. So, if you just turn back around, I'll fix your tank. And he just kind of looked at me and he was like, why would you think that it wouldn't be good to mess with my stuff on my back? Because I'm dumb. I'm not that dumb. So can you turn back around so I can fix your tank? Thanks. Oh, okay. Fixed his tanks, strapped it, held it in place, and then I loosened the back and fixed it up and tightened it up and turned back around. And he's just like, okay, sure, oh my God, okay. And just hold it, do this, do that. And he's just like, you just strap me in. I'm like, yeah, well, it's better than your stuff coming off while you're in the water, huh? He just looks at me, he's like, really? Really? Yeah, I said it. Later, I learned that he was a CB in the Navy. So, pretty smart. Those who know, like, what those guys do understand why that was a really good idea to be like, instead of just messing with his stuff. It just makes sense. At least to me. I wouldn't do that it just doesn't take it. So, yeah, oh yeah, and it was a little bit weird because I had a whole bunch of people that knew at that time that I was going through scuba stuff, like my biological family. And every time Anna, my biological mother, oh well, you need to listen to me because I have a master's degree. I was like, yeah, I got. I'm not gonna argue with you that you got, but like I don't know. Recently, I did the math, and apparently, I have the equivalent of two PhDs between the certifications as well as the technical lab time or whatever. So yeah, just not to be, but I didn't say it back then. And then my bio Mike, oh, he was so he had done scuba diving. He had done scuba diving when there was the J and K valves. For those who are into scuba diving, you know what I'm talking about. And so he had told me, be careful about that. I'm like, oh, scuba has changed so much. Scuba has, I mean, like, I very much know to pay attention to the air, regulators and or the monitors and stuff like that. But yeah, no, no, no. And so we started talking about it, and we would talk for hours on that whenever, we'd see one another. And then he was like, I told him when I was getting my nitrox certification, and he was like, "You can't do that juju juice," and I'm like, "No, no, 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 I'm doing it." And he's like, "No, no, no, you shouldn't do that juju juice." And I'm like, "No, it's." He's like, "No, no, no, that's so whatever." And I'm like, "No, no, no, I'm gonna do it." Like, you remember you told me not to go scuba diving to begin with. And like I've already gotten however many certifications by that time, and he was just like, yeah, but like you should really no, I know I need to get the nitrox certification. He's like, it's the juju juice, don't do it. And it's like, no, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. And, no, 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 it's the juju juice. No, it's I need it. And he's just, what do you, where are you gonna go that you need the juju juice? And I'm like, I didn't have the answer at that time, but apparently the bottom of the ocean. And so, in the Matthias abyss, so apparently I needed you. But anyway, so, I mean, I survived, obviously. But yeah, he tried to convince me not to because he called it the juju juice, and I'm like, no, I'm telling you, Dad, I need to make sure I get every certification possible, and and at that time I was planning the Florida trip, so it was one of those, yeah, no, 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 I'm gonna go to the Vandenberg, and I'm gonna have the, as you call it, the juju juice, but it's nitrox. No, 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 there's stuff that happens with the juju juice. Yeah, okay, well, it's called breathing. That's what happens. Breathing happens. But yeah, so, yeah, I'm gonna stop this video on that end and then go to the next one because I am awake. And, got plenty of time being on quarantine lockdown status at, the 29th of March 2020. So, that's